Voters in France are going to the polls today to choose a new parliament for the European Union's second largest economy. The snap election was called by President Emmanuel Macron after his party's poor showing in recent European elections. The stakes are high for Macron as his centrist coalition could lose seats to the far-right National Rally Party, headed by Marine Le Pen. If Le Pen's party wins an absolute majority, the president may have to share power with a far-right government for the first time. And you're seeing there images of people voting in Paris. Polls have been open for a little bit over an hour in metropolitan France there. And we will be bringing you all the latest from those elections throughout the day here on DW. And let's go to Paris now, where DW's Sonia Falnikar is standing by for us. Sonia, great to have you on the show. Now, you've been following the campaign closely. What have been the big issues that French voters have been focused on?
Well, this feels like a very big moment in French politics, with the far right closer to power than it has ever been in modern times. And this is all that people here have been talking about. I was filming in the streets of Paris this week, and people there mainly spoke about a sense of anxiety about the far right coming to power, what that could mean for immigration, what that could mean for France's kind of open, welcoming culture. But of course, it's a very different picture away from the big cities. I was also filming recently in rural France, where there is a lot of support for the National Rally in provincial towns. And there, you know, people are kind of disillusioned with other parties. They're struggling with an erosion of public services. Some feel their neighborhoods have been, overrun by immigrants, by crime. And there, I found a sense of hope about the far right, actually coming to power. So I think we're seeing a very divided country today going to the polls here.
Sonia, President Macron took, let's say, a big gamble calling this snap election just a few weeks ago, of course. Could it backfire on him?
Well, there's certainly a chance. I mean, the National Rally is leading in all the opinion polls. There are some polls that even suggest it could get an outright majority. But of course, the opinion polls don't tell the whole picture when it comes to this election. And that is because most of the seats in the parliament will be really decided in a second runoff vote on July 7th. And at that time, voters could switch loyalties. We could see new tactical agreements between parties to withdraw, improving the chances for other contenders. This is a strategy that has been used in the past in France to block far-right candidates. A higher than usual voter turnout could also impact the vote. So it's very difficult to say what the final result really could be. But of course, there is a huge amount at stake here with this election. For France, this election means electing a new government, a new prime minister that would, kind of shape foreign domestic policy going forward. And of course, whether Macron's gamble could backfire, that is certainly a question. I mean, if the National Rally does get an absolute majority in Parliament, it would be the first time since World War II that France would have a far-right government, and that would really take the country into uncharted territory.
Well, tell us, how much of a change could we see in France if the far-right do manage to win?
Well, in recent days, the far-right National Rally has been fending off a series of accusations involving its party members as well as supporters. That has generated a lot of debate in France. There has also been debate about some of its more controversial proposals linked to immigration. The party president, Jordan Bardella, has said he wants to limit immigration, both legal and illegal. He wants to strip nationality rights of children born and raised in France by foreign parents. This would be a departure from a centuries-old policy in France. He's also floated a proposal of barring dual nationals from holding, sensitive strategic state jobs that would be reserved for French citizens. That has sparked a lot of criticism here, with, some critics saying that would amount to filtering the French into different categories. So there are a lot of concerns here, I think, about how France could change if the far right came to power. Rights groups have been saying that many of their proposals are really discriminatory and anti-constitutional.
Thanks, Sonia, for that update. And Sonia will be keeping us up to date on all the latest in France as French voters go to the polls. Sonia Falnikar in Paris for us.